I'm just going to come in and take a seat.
Oh,
Right, well, my name is Jacqueline Priest. I'm sitting as the judge today, and my colleague is Dr. Keckler, who's the medical member of the tribunal. We're not part of the Department for Work and Pensions. We are completely independent of the department. And we're here this afternoon to deal with your appeal against the decision that was made on the 19th of November of last year. That was 9 months ago now.
yeah, sounds about right.
This may seem strange, but as a matter of law, we're not allowed to take into account anything that's changed since the department made its decision on the 19th of November last year. Okay? Just one of those rules of law that we have to stick to. So, having made that clear, how would you say things are now compared to how they were last November? Are they a bit better, a bit worse, about the same?
About the same.
Right. I only ask that because sometimes people are obviously talking to us in the hearing about how things are now, and saves us having to interrupt all the time to draw things back to some time months ago if we've already established there hasn't been much change. Okay. Right. Now, we have exactly the same papers as were sent to you for this hearing today. That's this bundle.
Yeah.
And that looks promising. I think it would be helpful if you would get those out, Mr. Pinto, so that we can take a look at some of the things that are in there. When you get past the first few pages, I've got type numbers at the bottom, page 6 of 9 and so on.
Yeah, I see that.
When you get past those, you'll find that the numbering is actually handwritten and there's a number that's circled at the bottom.
I've got that.
And those are the numbers that we go by as
Okay.
we're looking through. Because there are several documents in the papers that have their own page numbering and it gets confusing unless we use the handwritten ones. And these papers include the questionnaire that you filled in last October, which you were invited to indicate the problems that you had, the report of the medical examination that you went to, presumably at Marsh Mill in November, and your letter of appeal and some other information. Now, we've had a chance to read that before coming here today, so obviously there are questions that suggest themselves to us from having read the papers. What we'd like to do this afternoon is put to you the questions that we've identified, and then give you an opportunity to say anything else that you want us to take into account if you feel we haven't covered everything properly. Okay?
Yep.
I think the best thing I can do, probably, is to hand over at this stage to Dr. Keckler. As you'll see as we go along, I'm keeping a note of what's being said. And I like to take quite a full note, so we'll take things slowly.
Okay.
But in any case, don't feel you have to come up with an instant answer to any question we ask you. If you need to think, feel free to take your time. Okay? Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Pinto, good afternoon again, sir. Very briefly, the problem I gather from the documents kindly sent to us is your left ankle.
That's right.
Can I just make one thing quite clear? All your other joints, and I couldn't find anything, so correct me if I'm wrong, are perfectly normal.
Apart from my right knee now, which for the last few months has started playing up. It's getting wobbly.
Sorry, sir, as Chair Lady mentioned, we have to look at November of last year.
Okay.
Was your knee playing up then?
No.
No. So, in November of last year, I'm sorry your knee's playing up.
Okay.
I really am. But at that time, all the other joints, right ankle, right shoulder, left shoulder, everything else.
Yeah, everything was fine.
That was fine.
Yeah.
Good. Have you seen something about your right knee yet, as a matter of interest?
No, because my doctor's retired, and trying to make appointments. They keep sending me to see locums that don't understand anything.
Right, fair enough.
And
well, good luck with your right knee. Yes, well, concentrate on your left ankle.
yeah.
Now, I gather the problem started 7 years ago.
But round about that time, it's always played me up.
Right.
But 7 years ago, that's when it started hurting, and it's got.
That was after a motorcycle accident.
Yeah, the motorcycle accident was when I was 17 years old.
Oh, right, yeah. Sorry, yeah. And then you had it pinned and plated, and those were removed 7 years ago.
No. Like I say, it was pinned and plated. Like I say, when the accident happened, when I was 17, I'm 52 now. And then it must have been about 5 or 6 years after that they were removed.
Right. Fine. Sorry, I got that wrong. I had it pinned and plated. And they were removed about 7 years after this. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely right. My mistake. I misread it. Fine. And at the moment, at last November, correct myself, how is the ankle?
Oh, it's terrible.
In what way?
Pain-wise,
right.
The pain is excruciating at times. Well, most of the time.
Right.
I mean, it keeps me awake most nights.
Right.
It's only because of the cocodamol that I'll get off the doctor.
Because when I think you saw the nurse, she recorded you just taking paracetamol.
Yeah, well, at the time I was looking after my father.
Right.
Who has since died now.
Yeah, sorry.
And he was getting so many pills.
Right.
That I was just having his leftovers basically, which is just paracetamol, you know, it's just off the shelf stuff.
So you started subsequently on the cocodamol?
Yeah, as the pain's got worse, you know, it's only the cocodamol now that gives me a good night's sleep.
Fine. Oh, good. Well, I'm very, very pleased. And it also says, I believe here, I'm going to read this correctly this time, that you were due to see a specialist. I think, did I not see?
I have seen the. Yeah. I have seen the consultants, and that they've recommended that they could inject some cement stuff into the joints or something, which I don't really understand. It wasn't explained to me. Because when I saw the specialist, I was expecting to get some about reason, but they lost my paperwork at the hospital apparently, so that would drag on for another 18 months. So by the time I got back in touch with them again, they said something about dead skin as well, so that they want to do a skin graft or something.
Right.
And inject some stuff in there, but I'm trying to do lots of research on it because the way things are today, I don't want to go rushing into anything, and then I'm really hurt myself. You know that.
Got you. Now, so I saw you walking in just the door. You walked in a bipedal manner, that is 1 foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
You walked with a limp, that I noticed. I only saw 2 paces. I don't know how you do any further. Is that the way you normally would walk, and is that how you walk back in November, roughly?
Yeah.
Yep, that's fine. Good. Now, what I'm obviously got to know is how this bad ankle, and I'm sorry about bad ankle, how it affects you. Like distances walk, and how you manage with your.
I don't walk too far. I can't do it. If I walk to my local shop, which is probably about 400 yards away, then it's a real pain getting back.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that on page 63, exactly what you mentioned, that if you walk to the local shops, well, you said 500 yards, but fall out about the journey back, it will be painful. In the conversation, you also said that you will get more pain in the evening.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Having been on your feet during the day.
Yeah.
What do you do during the day on your feet?
Just walking around home.
Oh, right. So you aren't particularly doing anything particular on your feet. No. You're not sort of standing, painting the greenhouse or anything.
No.
That's just day-to-day living.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. And if you do stand on your ankle, presumably you put more weight onto the right than the left.
Yeah, that's correct.
Do you have any aids to help you, like a walking stick, for instance, or crutches, or anything at all?
No.
No? That's fine. And have you had any falls at all, sir?
Well, I've had a few.
Any bad ones?
Nothing where I've really hurt myself.
No. More stumbles?
Yeah, because as soon as it starts happening, then I'll protect myself, you know, because it's not like it hasn't happened before.
No.
So.
Sure. So you're almost sort of thinking about it and how to get over it. Which is fair enough.
Yeah, I'm aware of it all the time, continuous.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. And so, you're able to drive a car, sir?
I have got a car, but it's just sat in the car park at the minute. Because I have tried in the past, but I've decided to give up at the moment. Because it's just getting a little bit dangerous.
Why is that, sir?
Well, because it's a manual.
It's a manual.
Yeah.
And so, back in November, were you driving it just when you saw...
Yeah, I did drive down that day.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how... I don't know where the medical centre is, and I'm totally ignorant of the geography in Plymouth, so I don't know where Little America is. I mean, how long would it take you to drive from your place to the centre?
Oh, literally 5 minutes.
Oh, right. I mean, I don't know where either place is.
Well, do you come by car when you come down there?
Yes.
If you come down the A38, you know, you come down a very long, very, very long hill, just at the outskirts, just when you get into it.
Yes.
And on your left you can see a Sainsbury's.
Yes.
Well, the Marshmallows Examination Centre, the Medical Examination Centre is a spit, isn't it?
Yes, it's so on the right hand side of the roundabout.
Oh, right.
By Marshmallows, Sainsbury's. Yeah.
Yes.
Little America, I'm not sure where I can place it.
Deer Park.
No, try me something else.
You know the bridge that goes over the A38?
At Manadon?
No,
Oh.
no, the one before that. If you go over the Marshmallows roundabout, and then take the first slip road there, then that'll take you around into, say, Delamere Road, down Delamere Road, and then over turn left at the end, over the flyover, and it's just round there.
I think I'm with you now, yeah. It must be quite a new area. I mean, I grew up in Plymouth, but I don't remember anywhere called Little America.
Yeah, I think it was built 75.
Oh, right.
Well, I've been there ever since it was built, actually.
Right.
Fine. Now, you also mentioned that about standing. So, what you said, as you mentioned on page 21, is that standing, it says it depends on the previous day or how much sleep you have had, and it varies. Can you remain standing up without support from another person?
Yeah, but not for any length of time.
Roughly, bearing in mind, obviously, you've got a good ankle and a bad ankle, how long do you think you might stand up for? Or you could? I mean, if you were at a supermarket, I don't remember whether you go to the supermarket or you said you did, and something to do, something. Yeah, let's just have a look.
No, if I want to get my main shopping in, then I'll do it online. I'll get it delivered.
Sorry.
I'll do any main shopping. I'll get it online, and then I'll have it delivered.
So you wouldn't have to stand for any particular time.
No.
And presumably you don't go to the post office or anything, queue or anything.
No.
Don't have to.
No, I'll do everything online.
Right, that's fair enough.
Yeah, pay the bills, everything.
How about bending? Obviously you have to do that at home.
Yeah, no problem at all.
No problem at all.
No.
Right. So you can bend easily. So you can walk but within pain. Yes, of course.
Can I just stick with the standing for a minute? You said that you don't actually find yourself in a situation where you have to stand in a queue with the post office, supermarket or wherever. But if you're free to move around, you're not standing like a guardsman.
Yeah.
If you're free to move around, how long would you say that you could stand for last November?
Probably half an hour, and then, I mean, the pain's always there, but within half an hour, that's when it starts getting excruciating. And then I have to get the weight off it, but that's where the painkillers come in then. I try to stay off the painkillers as much as I can to save them up for night time, just when it kicks off then. And I also know that the cocodamol is addictive, and it's no good for your liver and stuff like that in long term. So, you know, obviously I've got to get things sorted out for later on down. But
yeah, absolutely right. Do you have any particular hobbies you enjoy, sir?
Probably surfing the internet, and that's about it at the moment.
So you sit and surf?
Yeah, but I've got little 3D animation programs that keep me occupied.
Very good, very good. Is there anything else I have?
You said that you had a problem with sitting for a great length of time.
Where does it say that?
Oh, it's page 21. of these handwritten numbers.
Sitting.
Yeah, at the bottom of the page there. Can you stay sitting on a chair for at least half an hour without needing to stand up? And you put it varies.
Oh, it varies.
And you put it varies because I become agitated with the pain. So it's not that sitting causes.
No, it's not the sitting.
You're just restless because of it.
Yeah, I've just sat there. The pain's throbbing away, and I just try to do something to try and get rid of it somehow. You know.
Right. But if you're absorbed in something you're doing on the computer, do you find that half an hour can pass without you having to get up and move around?
Not really, no. It's there continuous.
Yeah.
It's even here now, you know.
Yeah.
It's very distracting.
Mm-hmm. So have you got an appointment? Have you seen it yourself?
Yeah, that was quite a while ago now, 2 years.
Oh, 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was since your father.
Yeah, but then, because I was looking after my father at the time, it was very difficult. There was no way I could leave him alone.
No, sure.
And I know he died last October,
Right.
but since then, trying to get all this stuff sorted out, it's not over in a night.
No, of course not.
And then, like I say, since now I've learnt, was it about a month ago, my doctor's retired, so now I have to.
You've got to find a new one.
Well, obviously I can still use the same practice, but
Another one, onto another one's books.
yeah.
Good.
You did indicate a problem in the questionnaire that you're filling with going out, and it was to do with your confidence about going out on your own.
Yeah, I don't really get on with people, you know. I can't really explain it. I don't know.
I'm not talking about sort of going out socialising and that kind of thing. If you'd like to look, page 34.
Oh yeah.
It asks, do you feel confident enough to leave home on your own and go out to places you know? I mean, it could be, a little library or shops or...
Oh yeah, I think I'm sure I was referring to that. Sometimes depression sets in, you know, because I get, like I say, agitated, and then, you know.
But you do go out on your own?
Only to the shops.
Yeah.
What about friends, do you have? Friends locally?
No, I've got a few friends, but it's all on the internet again.
Oh, right.
You know, it's...
You don't go around and meet them?
No.
Coffee in town?
No. I just don't go out.
Right. And that's because you don't feel you're a sociable sort of person, or...
It depends how I'm feeling.
Right.
You know, like I say, sometimes I'm just depressed and sort of like give up on everything. Other time I've got no need to go out.
Yeah.
Sure.
I know if I did try to go out, then I'm going to be really that night. That'll be it. You know, it's just not worth the pain.
Right. I think that's all that we wanted to ask you, Mr. Clinton, but we said we'd give you an opportunity to say anything else you wanted to say to us. Was there anything else you particularly wanted a chance to explain to us?
So I know you've explained that you're independent of the benefits people, but see, my concern is with them. They are ignoring everything my doctor said, everything the consultants have said, and they just want to throw me on the job seekers allowance, basically throw me in with the lions, you know. And then as time will go on, they'll be in with the drug addicts and the alcoholics. which I'm not prepared to accept, to be perfectly honest. I need extra help from the benefits people to find me work that I'm capable of doing. All the work I used to do over the years in the past was on the building sites.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore. You know, that is just right out of the question now. So I need all the help off them to get me back into a job that I can do, that an employer will accept me as I am. But they are not accepting anything the doctor says, anything the consultant has said, anything I've said. This is why I'm here.
Your GP did say on the sick note last December, you might be fit for work, taking account of the following advice. No lifting, desk work only, keep walking to a minimum, not to stand for long periods.
That's right.
So whatever job seekers agreement you had for the purposes of job seekers allowance would have to obviously work around those.
Yeah, but they won't accept that. They haven't accepted it up to now anyway.
Right.
This is what the whole problem is.
But you've been still getting employment and support allowance while you've been waiting for this appeal to...
Well, employment, I believe it's employment and support allowance.
Yeah.
But either way, it's still the same as job seekers allowance, like the value.
Yeah.
Which is okay, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
No, and I understand it's a process that I have to go through. But it would be nice if there was a little bit more understanding down at their end.
Right. I think we've probably got all the information that's going to help us to make our decisions now, Mr. Pinto. We'll be making our decision in the next 5 or 10 minutes, and I presume most people would like to know the decision before they leave here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, if you wouldn't mind going back to the waiting room, and the clerk will come and tell you when we have the decision ready.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have fun.
You had people in trouble,
Nah, obviously, but they're professionals, aren't they? Nice enough, but... Oh, yeah.
There were a few. Trouble is, not those worst people that get on there.
No.
So getting down now.
Yeah.
So it's a moment.
Stick it on the bottom of the t-shirt.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Good. And change your hair to the glasses. I'm going to show you all I'm going to stuff in here. Oh, I knew it. I'll give you your forte. Your plate that. There again. That's which way I lose. Whatever was it? I'll just carry it. Bloody work, I won't. I'm there. Cheaper than national park. Sure, think about. Let's take a chair. Still. Would say so you can keep them when it works. They're waiting for these condemned,
Yeah.
I'll get pissed off with these days.
Yeah.
It's self-inflicted.
More helpless, actually.
And all this is going to which you didn't ask for.
Yeah.
These pressures in the same way they're all easy to remember. Police are put it through, they turn down again, all should all do the same thing. Speak to bloody men. I want to say when we stop the kid clean out with them. Yeah, that's right. But these songs are open milk in the system.
Yeah. They give it so easy.
Yeah. Such a
So it's all done. Okay, cheers.
Right, Mr. Pinto, I'm afraid we can't allow your appeal. We did feel there should have been some points awarded for limitations with standing for long periods, but basically that wasn't enough to get you through the threshold of entitlement. We notify the department of our decision, and then they'll be in contact with you telling you that your payments of the employment and support allowance, if that's what you're still getting there, to cease. Because you did originally sign on for job seekers, didn't you? Was that before you put your appeal in?
Yeah, well basically I was on carer's allowance after I was looking for my father.
Right.
So when he died, then I rang up the benefits people and I just followed their advice basically.
Right, okay. Well, did you stay on job seekers allowance, or did you go back onto the employment and support allowance once you put your appeal in that we just heard?
I'm not too sure, to tell you the truth, because it's difficult to understand what the benefits people are doing with me.
Well, are you having to go and sign on every fortnight and say,
No.
"These are what I've done to look for work"?
No.
Okay. Then it sounds as if you're still getting the assessment rate of employment and support allowance while you're waiting for this appeal to be heard. When you hear from the department, you will have to go to sign on for job seekers allowance. We've got in the papers the fit note dated the 2nd of December 2010 from Dr. Kingsmore.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you go along, take that with you when you go for your first interview for job seekers allowance. The purpose of that interview, one of the purposes of that interview, will be to draw up what's called a job seekers agreement. This is where you, amongst other things, you indicate the sort of jobs that you're looking for. Now, obviously, you are going to have to limit. You know, you can't go seeking work as a scaffolder or something like that.
Yeah, right.
So take this quick note from Dr. Kingsmore with you when you go to that first appointment. Show them that, and it is supposed to be a job seeker's agreement. That is something with terms that you have agreed with the job centre advisor. And there are processes that can be gone through if you can't reach agreement. So if they refuse to accept any sort of limitation on the sort of work you can look for, there are procedures that can be followed to get the issue resolved of what should be.
Well, that's fine, as long as there's procedures in place, yeah, I don't have a problem.
There are, and I think perhaps, I may be wrong, I may be doing them an injustice, but I think perhaps job seekers, job centres don't make that quite clear enough. But we've told you that now,
yeah.
Bear that in mind. Certainly, tell them about this, or show them at the first interview, this fit note from Dr. Kingsmore. Okay. What you've got in front of you there is the formal record of our decision today. There's also some explanatory notes about the appeals process that you may want to look at when you get home. But that's as far as we can take things here this afternoon.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay.
So thank you very much for your patience with our questions.
That's fine. No, thanks for seeing me.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's fine.
We've got to sign it?
No, it's okay after this.
Alright. Cheers.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. Okay.